wanted to share with you why I got into this industry, into becoming an independent courier, into 4 segments. Is 1, it has a pretty low barrier. 5, there's somewhat a no cap on your earnings. Hello everyone, this is Gilster Vergara back again with another video. Thank you for checking out Do My Life, where we talk about health, wealth, and anything automotive. But today is going to be a special day, or a special couple of weeks for you guys. I am going to be having a dedicated playlist just on my independent courier journey. Here in this playlist, I will share everything that I have learned so far being an independent courier. This is going to be a group of videos that I'm going to be compiling. Another way you can support the channel, which is a free investment of hitting the subscribe button, liking the video, and sharing. And in celebration of consistently creating income streams, I wanted to invite you to my Teespring store, where you can purchase shirts just like this to help support the channel. So the link is down below. I really appreciate your support. With that said, this is segment 3, landing the interview. So in my case, after 2 weeks of just consistently applying to these positions, I got a call for my first company that hit me up, and I went in for an interview. I don't know if you guys have ever had managerial roles, or I am sure everyone listening to this, you've been to at least one interview in your life, or if you haven't, this is a great experience for you. So I have conducted many interviews myself. I already kind of understood how to set things up, how to ask about certain things, and how to try to get the best answer to the questions I wanted answered. Because as somebody across the table, the one offering the work, sometimes I feel like they don't want to divulge all the information. It might turn away people just based on the figures that they give them. So I made it a point to myself, as a person being interviewed, to ask those questions so I can get a more direct answer, or closest to the most direct answer I could have gotten. Because this is, for me, super imperative, asking the right questions so you can come up with the best decision for yourself, because you don't want to leap into something that you're going to regret over time, and then you're stuck because you might have left your previous job, and then you're like, oh no, I burnt that bridge. So these are the questions that I asked that I felt were important. So hopefully these help you. First question I asked was, what type of vehicle would I need to do the work that your company does? The interviewer said, oh, you can do, compact car. It all depends. SUV, Sprinter vans, all depends, because that particular company had a lot of types of work coming into it. Small packages, big boxes, so on and so forth. Asking that question for me pried into what type of work that the company does, as in what spectrum does the company offer you as far as possibilities. So technically, like, they can give you small work, little boxes, big boxes, because if you deal with a company that only does certain small things, your options might be limited, which on the flip side, it can help you if you have a compact car, because maybe they only might deal with small packages and things like that. But I like a company that is pretty diverse, kind of has their hands in everything. So I know that if you have slow days, and you will, that you can jump to and from types of work that you can do for the company, because if it was stocks, they would need a diverse portfolio of clients so they can cater to making money, pretty much. Number 2 was, what type of insurance would I need to run this vehicle and be a part of the team, or be a part of the company? Usually, from my research, a lot of the insurance that you would need is 100, 300, 100. We can go over that later in another portion of the video, where I can go, like, literally take a page of my sheet of insurance and show you what is needed, or what they ask for. Usually this is what they ask for. Now, I also did ask, did I need cargo insurance? The interviewer said not really in this case, but if you want to get it, more like a general liability insurance. So it's really up to you guys if you want to go out there and get it as well. I believe if you go on Next, some of them have it for like $27, $28 a month, which is very feasible, and you can write it off regardless. 3 was, do I need to form an LLC and or obtain a business license to work with them as a independent courier? Interviewer goes, no, not really. You're going to be independent courier anyway, so when the taxes get, pushed to you, when you have to file your taxes, it's going to be under your name unless you set up an LLC and, or a sole proprietorship, which I did. But nonetheless, you can do it as your own. But if you want more protection and you want the peace of mind, maybe an LLC is the way to go. Fourth question was, what hours are you open? What hours are you available? And I wanted that interviewer to understand that I am pretty much I want to get in, I want to jump in. So I want to know when they were available most of the time. Most courier companies, especially within this area, are 24 hours because they're catering to the hospital, local businesses that are open 24 hours as well, just businesses like 7-Eleven and things like that. Once again, I asked that question because it's letting me know when I can work, when I can make my schedule. With that said, I can segue that into when are your peak hours? When are you busiest the most? When do you need help the most? And this is very important for you guys to ask in an interview because it shows that you want to grow, right? It shows that you want to grow. You're asking them, what can I help with? Number 5, which is probably one of the most important questions you want to ask, is what is a pay structure like? Is it bi-weekly, semi-monthly, weekly? This will make or break you to me because you will very soon understand how fuel intensive this business is. Understand that if you gotta wait 15 more days and you gotta make sure you have enough money in the bank to finance those rides, until then it might get tough for you. So understand, yes, you're gonna need a good grip of money in the bank to make sure you're good for it. And I've had my own troubles with that as well because it is fuel intensive, right? That's one question I believe you should ask, which is very important, is the pay frequency. 6 is, are there any other fees associated to my pay? As in, is there a gas surcharge or fuel surcharge? Is there like a workers' comp fee or any other fee that the company wants to add on to you? Understand that you need to know your bottom line because at the end of the day, you're an independent courier and a contractor pretty much. You're a 1099 worker. You work off the money that is given to tax-free or not taxed at the moment right now. You have to really know what those numbers are to really understand, how to make that money last. And lastly, this is one of the most, if not the most, to me, most important questions you must ask in order to gauge the company. This is what I ask. I don't know how important it is to you, but it is important to me. I always ask the manager or interviewer, what are your top guys making? What are your bottom guys making? What are your middle guys making? So I can kind of gauge how things are within that system or within that culture. Why? One, me asking them how much their top guy is making, this is going to be the LeBron, the Michael Jordan. They might fluff that up a little bit. Doing the lowest one, they might not expect, so they're gonna think about the worst performing guy and tell you that number. But then I get my real answer as asking what is average, because now your interviewer is starting to think like, okay, let me come up with numbers. Because if he's lying, if he doesn't know his numbers, he's gonna mess up. So once I gauge that number, the top, middle, and low, I can kind of gauge like how much I have to work in order to get this money. Because I already know where I'm at when it comes to work ethic. Maybe you are on the same. I'm there to grind, but I gotta know or have a goal, put myself on. Like if your top guy makes $80,000 a year, I'm gonna do everything I can and know that system to get to that level. Because anything in between middle and top, you're in a good spot because you gotta know your numbers pretty much. So there is no science to these questions. These are just over the years, the experiences I've had being asked certain questions and asking certain questions as well to gauge whether that person is a good fit with me or vice versa. Because the main thing you don't want is crazy turnover on the business side, and on the employee or driver or independent courier side, you don't want a guy who's flaky, who you are going to devote time to, give work to, and then have them mess it up and mess up your reputation as as a business person. On the IC, the independent contractor end, you want to understand your numbers to the point where you can kind of gauge yourself as to where I want to be, how much I want to compete, because this is a very important thing. For me, I'm super competitive, so I need to know how much the top guy's making because I'm going to go after that dude all day or that girl all day. I need to know what the lowest guys are making because now if I'm not producing that, I might not get that many calls, or I might be the guy, oh, let me call him once in a while to see if he's one to do the work. I don't want to be be that guy. But if I can fit myself in the middle consistently over time, it almost proves myself, my worth to the market, that the dispatchers can give me the work and they can entrust the work with me. That's pretty much why I asked those questions. Also, and this might go beyond, just becoming an independent courier. It might help you in other fields or, whatever. It shows, one, your seriousness. It shows, two, that you're an educated person, as in you are prying into and asking these questions that are imperative and impactful to your personal life. And that shows that to the interviewer, or at least it always showed me as somebody interviewing people, when somebody was asking me questions, engaging me in that way, I always thought like, wow, this person's really engaged. And that's what I want for you guys. And three, obviously, is going to make you look like you have a good head on your shoulders, you're sharp, and you're not some type of guy or girl like passing me off like I'm irrelevant. I'm just going to be a zombie here driving around and delivering boxes. Some independent couriers are very well just like that, but I don't want you to be like that, because at the end of the day, we have to get the best outcome for this opportunity.